Hi, we're here on The Conversation. We're super excited.
Can you see the excitement on my face? So we're here to talk about The Conversation, Dara. And can you tell us what The Conversation is?
Well, I can tell you what The Conversation talk show is going to mean to me, and then obviously our viewers will be able to have the experience for themselves. And it's really cool because they'll be able to write in and email and Facebook and text and tell us kind of what experience they're having with the show. The Conversation is a talk show that's going to be targeting sort of, you know, people between the ages of 17 to 35, which is a broad range, but I think a lot of the issues are going to hit home for different people in different ways. And we're going to be talking about just things that are affecting people living in Cayman, but not with so much of just a Caymanian perspective, but more of a global perspective.
One of my favorite shows coming up would be The Crime. That perspective from the youth, you know, making people understand those young people that are doing these crimes, what are their environment like right now?
Yeah.
And how do they move from this environment of crime to a more productive environment? And what are the steps that we can help them go through, you know, bridge that gap that they have in their life right now? So I'm looking forward to that. And like you said, the technology, I mean, we all, the young people, some of the older people don't even like technology. They tell you straight up, I don't want to touch a computer, I don't want a BlackBerry, but that's the communication of the day.
That's how I BBM on my BlackBerry more than I do anything. Even for business now, like most of my stuff, people BBM you. It's so much easier. Like,
yes.
And that's what we're going to be encouraging, that sort of dialogue where you can interact with us on the show. Of course, we're going to have lots of great guests, people who have expertise in the areas we're discussing. But we want to, more than anything, I think we want to hear from the people of Cayman. We want to hear from everyone who's living here, everyone who's working here, everyone who calls this little rock home. We want to hear from you and hear what you think about these issues. You know, we have a lot of shows in Cayman that you can email in or you can phone in, but this one is going to be encompass the whole spectrum. You can Facebook, you can text us, you can email us, you can call us, you can Twitter us. It's all going to be on your screen right now. So any of those numbers or contacts, you can find us. And I think more importantly, we want to hear from you, Cayman. We want to hear if you have issues that you're passionate about, Heck, if you want to be a guest on this show, email us. Let us know what you think, what you want, because, you know, we don't have the solutions. We don't have all the solutions. That's why we're on this show, because we want to open a dialogue with you guys. A lot of the shows that we have in Cayman right now do discuss issues on a daily basis, some of them. However, they don't do it from a youth's perspective. And I think our perspective is going to be different than someone like my dad, for example, or your family, or your older, you know, like
uncles.
Yeah, exactly. We're just like different ages and we have different viewpoints on things, and it doesn't make them right or wrong, but there's just, you know, like you were saying, there's a gap there. So please feel free. Like, I would love to have some of you be guests on this show. I think it'd be so much fun to really just like integrate the audience into what we're doing, because that's what this show is going to be about.
I would probably ask you to do it, is make sure you're because we're gonna sweat.
Okay.
So just so you can have, and I'll tell you.
Do they sell makeup powder? I just don't know what.
That's fine. We can go Saturday.
Need to go out. I can. But when I get back,
if you guys go blank, they will anticipate.
They will see it usually, and they'll say, throw it here, let's throw it at a tape, or we're going to get some emails on the screen for you, or here's a caller.
But when we do the rehearsals, we're actually going to run the opens, the graphics, that kind of stuff. And you'll see what isn't working too, and we can kind of talk through some of that. If there's new elements you want to add to the show, if we can add them, we will. I want to make it doable, but not impossible for something that we can't do because it's going to take 20 hours.
Right. When they the management here first started talking about these shows, one of the instant things I said was, aren't there enough talk shows already? You know, and I was a little bit actually resistant to it. I went, why do we need more talk shows? People are on the radio for 3-4 hours a day. In the afternoons, at the time, there was an afternoon drive talk show. At the same time, there are a lot of issues that aren't getting tackled. And I think anyone who's over 13 and under the age of 35 always feels a little disenfranchised. That's sort of normal.
One of the reasons why I wanted to work on The Conversation is because I feel that, you know, the young person's voice isn't always heard. And I think that maybe this is a chance for them. This gives them a chance to, you know, talk about issues that means a lot to them, whether it be things from politics or entertainment or just other social issues that are happening in the community. And I think it's a good opportunity for them.
as well as maybe having sort of the 3 or 4 guests' point of view that are actually on the show, we can also have people interacting, or the audience can interact. They can call us, they can text us, they can look at our Facebook site, they can email us, which means we can get the whole community really, really involved instead of just getting the viewpoints of the few.
I think that very often those voices don't get heard, and the issues that we may discuss sometimes aren't tackled from that perspective. So what's great about this is that the conversation will get those voices into that dialogue, and I think it can provide some really helpful insights for people who are decision makers.
There was that one night where we were on Facebook and BBMing from like 7 o'clock until literally 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's just a different way of how we communicate with each other. There's a lot of issues that the older generation do discuss, but it's a different, and not that it's a negative thing, but sometimes we would like to talk about it in a more positive and a more how to get it done, as opposed to why it's not done. And you know, we have other things when it comes to like entertainment, when it comes to just unemployment, education, things that we think that can happen, that we can do, and that, you know, we can express things differently.